This is Katrina Dubree, and I will be your accessibility advocate today. We're going to discuss Smart Art accessibility. A short disclaimer, please note that this presentation was created using existing but modified slide layouts by me, an external contractor. This presentation does not represent Transition Tennessee, TNTAN, nor the Tennessee Department of Education. This presentation is intended for demonstration purposes only.
This PowerPoint presentation is meant to serve as a learning aid that accompanies a two-part video walkthrough. This presentation covers the following examples related to Smart Art accessibility: a general overview of Smart Art accessibility considerations, an accessibility review of a recent partner slide featuring Smart Art, an example of an alternative format to using Smart Art, and an example of creating a graphic visually like Smart Art using accessible elements.
Please note that in general, Smart Art is considered inaccessible. It does not appear on the outline view and can be very difficult for screen readers to navigate in its original format. Showing on the screen is an inserted Smart Art, which is grouped. That is the original format that Smart Art comes in. Please note there is a color contrast consideration. Allow me to demonstrate. Within PowerPoint, you do have access to a color contrast font tool. You can access this by being in the Home tab and selecting the Font Color drop-down. There is a slider that says High Contrast Only, and I ensured that I slid that to the On position, and it gives colors which it says are High Contrast Only. I do believe that this is a helpful tool to get you started, but I will always recommend manual check. Let me show you an example. Appearing on my screen, I have two windows open. One window is our PowerPoint presentation, and the other window is the WebAIM color contrast checker. I'm going to navigate down the page and go into the section where you can analyze if your color contrast meets requirements. I chose colors that the Microsoft PowerPoint High Contrast Only recommended, but I want to point out some important considerations. In this first area of the Smart Art, I did choose a color that was recommended for the foreground, and I made sure to select the correct color in the background. I do this by selecting within Color Picker. You can select this item, and there is a dropper tool that you can use, and you can pick up the color that you need for your demonstration. Please note that we are analyzing text in this example. Normal text has failed color contrast. The text in this graphic would be considered large. However, I do want to point out that it failed the WCAG AAA standards, which is the highest standard of accessibility. Although it does technically pass WCAG AA, I would encourage you to do a manual review of color contrast. For me, these colors that are selected on this PowerPoint slide are a bit difficult for me to see.
Our next example has a good illustration of high color contrast. We use a very dark blue for the background and the color white for the text. Let's talk a little bit about this type of Smart Art. In this format, all the text and images are grouped into one graphic. This means that screen reader users are not able to access the information within the Smart Art. Let's walk through how to address this. Start off by going into View and Normal View, and have a couple of tools ready to go. These include the Selection pane, the Reading Order pane, and the alt text. You can search for all of these in the search box. Under the Selection pane box, the first thing you'll notice is that there are only two elements on this slide: the title and the Smart Art. The text within this Smart Art cannot be accessed by screen readers. To aid this, you right-click on the Smart Art and you select Group and then Ungroup. Once you have ungrouped the object, you'll notice in the selection pane that more objects appear. So now we have the title, we have this arrow, and we have the 3 text boxes. We want to ensure that all of these items truly get out of this group. So we're going to right-click the group 8, and we're going to select Group and Ungroup once more. Now, all the individual objects we're going to work with appear. Please make sure that all decorative objects, like this arrow, are marked as decorative. To do that, right-click, select View Alt Text, and then mark as decorative. The only elements within this smart art that should not be marked decorative are the elements that contain text. By ungrouping this object, now screen reader users can navigate within to access the text. However, please note that when you go to View and Outline View, the text within this smart art still does not show in Outline View. This is something to be aware of.